So Lori, thank you so much for joining me for this quick informational video about the upcoming election cycle. And as we know, there are two very important upcoming election days coming up, August 18th and November 3rd. And the August 18th election is a statewide primary election. And so I know Florida is a close primary state. Can you explain a little bit about what that means?
I sure can. In Florida, according to Florida law, if you're registered as a Republican voter, you can vote in the Republican primary contest. And if you're registered as a Democratic voter, you can vote in the Democratic primary races. But you can't switch back and forth. Now, if you're not affiliated with any party, or if you're a member of those parties, everybody gets to vote on the nonpartisan races. And we actually have a number of nonpartisan races in the August 18th ballot. So there's a little bit something for everyone. The reason I wanted to bring up about this closed primary is not everybody is aware of this because many states have open primary elections. So any new residents might not know how we do it here in Florida, or some people even just forget.
And so with the kind of environment that we're in now with COVID-19 and safety being on everyone's mind, what safety measures will be in place for voting?
We're making every effort and taking lots of precautions so that everybody feels safe, whether it's at an early voting site or a polling location. All election workers will be wearing masks or some type of face covering. They'll be disinfecting surfaces in between voters. Voters will be asked to stand 6 feet apart from each other whenever they're in line or when they're voting. Voters are going to be encouraged to bring their own pens so they don't have to touch a pen that somebody else has used, although we will have single-use pens. They are available for anybody. Also, we may limit the number of people in the polling room. Big polling rooms might not be a problem, but some of them are a little small, and if a number of people show up at the same time, we want to make sure everybody has plenty of breathing room. And then, of course, there'll be hand sanitizer for voters when they leave.
Very good. And so there are several ways that a voter can cast their ballot. And would you remind everyone about those important voting opportunities and the deadlines?
I'm so glad you asked, because there's 3 easy ways to vote in Polk County. Of course, you can vote at your precinct. Let's call that voting classic, okay, the traditional way. You can vote on your precinct. All precincts will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on election day. And as you mentioned, that's August 18th. Or early voting will run from August 3rd through August 15th. 9 convenient sites around the county from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. in the evening every day. That includes the weekends. And then, of course, last but by no means least is vote by mail. You know, with the concerns that you just mentioned about COVID-19, some folks may just decide that they'd want to play it safe and don't want to venture out this year. A lot of people like the experience of going to the polling locations. That's very understandable. I do too. But if you want to just skip it once, you can this year. Anybody who is a registered voter is eligible. You just give us a call, go to our website, send us an email, and we'll get you on for a vote by mail ballot. A couple reminders about that. The deadline to request a ballot to be mailed is August 8th. And the last day and last time to return it is August 18th, election day at 7 p.m. So don't put it off if you already have your vote by mail ballot and haven't gotten it in yet. Let's get moving on that. Any more information, just go to polkelections.com, or we're happy to talk to you. We love to talk to voters. Call us at 534-5888.
Very good. And your office has been extremely helpful. I've called on several questions and been able to get really quick answers, so I appreciate that. And
Great.
For someone like myself that did do the mail-in ballot, because you know, who knew months ago that we'd still be working through this. If I still want to turn it in person, I know I can do that on election day. Can I do that ahead of election day if I want to turn it in person?
If you want to bring it in person, you can bring it to one of the 9 convenient early voting sites or our office in Winter Haven or Bartow anytime up until 7 p.m. on election day. It's not recommended to bring that to turn in at your polling location on election day. If you're planning on doing that to your precinct, you're probably going to have to turn it in, surrender it, and get another ballot. So bring it to an early voting site or one of our offices.
Perfect. Well, Lori, thank you so much for helping to add some clarity to this election cycle. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Katie. Thank you.
Thank you.